What is up, y'all? It's your boy, the Renegade Enigma, in another video, and in this video, I'm here to give you the results for WWE Raw's Hell in a Cell 2016. And yeah, all in all, it was like a pretty good show and whatever. Like, I'll give you my rating at the end. But yeah, we start off with the pre-show. Like I said before, 6-man tag with the Cruiserweights. We have Cedric Alexander, Lance Dorada, and Sin Cara going against Tony Nese, which had a really decent set on. You know what I mean? Like, he had this whole, like, He-Man thing going for him. Drew Gulak and Arya Daivari. You know, Sean Daivari's brother. Yeah, really good match, as you'd expect from the Cruiserweights, whatever. They always get it in their matches and whatnot. I have yet to see a bad match with these current Cruiserweights and whatever that we have in this era of wrestling. But yeah, really good, whatever. Lots of high spots, you know, whatever. Sin Cara had it like going there for a minute there, where he beat all 3 members of the other team. Gulak, I think it was, threw one of the members of, I want to say it was Dorada, outside of the ring and took out the other 2 members of his team. You know how you always had that spot where someone gets thrown out the ring and everybody gets wiped out. But no, he basically wiped out the whole other side of the team. I've never seen that before. I've seen like multiple occasions where everybody gets wiped out, but he wiped up the whole other team. But yeah, the end of the match came where Cedric Alexander hit his finisher, which is called the lumbar check, which basically throws you in the air and catches you in like a backstab or backcracker, whatever you want to call it, type of move, but on the side, whatever, like really cool move and whatever. 1, 2, 3, your winners: Cedric Alexander, Lance Dorada, and Sin Cara. Like, I suggest y'all watch this match. It's probably on YouTube or something like that. But yeah, going on to the pay-per-view and whatever, right? We have our first main event, which is odd, you know what I mean? It's the very first match. And it is for the United States title. We have the current champion, Roman Reigns, putting his title on the line against the former champion, Rusev, along with Lana. Which Lana wasn't even in the match or whatever, so yeah, like, she was just there to introduce him and then she left. Like, she didn't interfere, no outside interference, nothing, you know. This match was pretty good and whatever. Like, I hate how they, like, said how, oh, Hell in a Cell is so barbaric, it's so demonic and blah blah blah, how they try to hype it up. Which, out of the 3, to me, this one was the weakest and whatever. Like, sure, it was good, it had some good spots and whatever. You know what I mean? They had table spots, chair spots. There's a candlestick that came into play. The steel steps came at the end where Rusev did his finish move. I believe it's called the Accolade. Basically a camel clutch, where, but on top of that, he put a chain around Roman Reigns' mouth, basically like trying to bust up his teeth and whatever. But yeah, Roman Reigns got out of that and hit a spear off the steps, and like 1, 2, 3 are still our United States champion, Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? It was a pretty good match. Went like a good like half an hour and whatever. Probably was like the longest match out of the whole pay-per-view and whatever. But yeah, out of the 3 like main events, it was the weakest, even though it was a pretty good match. Next we had the women's, I guess, grudge match. We have Bayley going against Dana Brooke and whatever. And yeah, this was a pretty good match too and whatever. Bayley's arm was hurt and whatnot. Like, that's the story they was going with. I don't know if it's true or not. And she was wearing the tape that you normally see Cesaro wear, you know, for his arm. Yeah, Bayley had that on her arm. And they was like really selling it, like Dana kept going after her arm and whatever. And yeah, the end came where Bayley hits her finisher, the Bayley to belly, out of nowhere, however you say it, belly to Bayley or whatever, out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, your winner here is Bayley. And I think because of this win, she's going to go after whoever the women's champion is going to be, you know what I mean? I'll tell you that in a minute. And yeah, like, I think this like basically pushes her up to be the number 1 contender, unless they go for the whole rematch deal and whatever, which, you know, I certainly hope not. Like, normally when you have a big match, you know what I mean, like Hell in a Cell, that should be your last match. But yeah, I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, our next match is the tag team grudge match, which you have the Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass. Big Cass and Enzo Amore had like this really funny promo, whatever, where they started calling Carl Anderson Andy, and they started calling Luke Gallows Big Gal, like calling him a girl and whatever. And there was this big joke there where Enzo said something to the effect of he dated bigger gals or fought bigger gals than Luke Gallows or whatever. But yeah, pretty good, you know. This match wasn't really nothing special. I could have really done without it, but it was okay. But yeah, the Club came away with the win by hitting their finisher, the Magic Killer. 1, 2, 3, your winners. The Club, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Finally, they have a win on a pay-per-view. I hope they eventually go for the tag team titles and whatnot, and finally win. But yeah, next match we have is for the Universal title, which I could have sworn was gonna be, I guess we could call it the main event, like the last match, the closer. But no, apparently they're gonna go with the women. I'm totally fine with that. You know what I mean? I was kind of hoping they would do that, but I thought they would go with Kevin Owens to them. But yeah, next match is for the Universal title. Kevin Owens, the current Universal Champion, going against Seth Rollins. And yeah, pretty good match. Better than the last Hell in a Cell and whatever. By the way, this is going to be in the Hell in a Cell if I didn't mention it before. And yeah, way better spots and whatever. They had this one spot where Kevin Owens looks for a table and gets a table, but there's a table right in front of him. So basically that made the table that he got useless. So he's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And mind you, he's outside the ring. He kind of stacks the second table on top of the other table, but on a tilt, kind of like how you would put the table on a corner and whatnot. And he plans to powerbomb Seth Rollins through there. You know what I mean? And it was lots of spots here, chairs and whatever. And yeah, Kevin Owens goes through both those tables on accident and whatever. And yeah, Kevin Owens, he's outside and he gets a fire extinguisher. This is very important because he gets a fire extinguisher, he's messing with it, and quote unquote by accident, he sprays the referee in the eyes with the fire extinguisher, causing the other referee outside the ring to open the cage door, the Hell in a Cell door, so they could take care of the referee inside the ring, but the cage door is open. So while it's open, Chris Jericho runs inside, gets the key to the lock, and locks it. And the other referee's in there, Chris Jericho's in there, so basically it turned into a 2-on-1 match right now. So it's basically Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Mind you, Seth Rollins' back is messed up, just like Bayley's arm is messed up, just like Cesaro's arm is messed up, where he had tape on his back and whatnot, just like them. And yeah, they basically played around with the injury and whatever. They both was hurting his back and whatever, over and over again. It was at one point they both bashed his back with steel chairs, and the end came where Kevin Owens hits a power bomb on Seth Rollins through 2 chairs. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Your winner and still champion, Kevin Owens. Next match we have is TJ Perkins, the Cruiserweight Champion, putting his Cruiserweight title on the line against the Brian Kendricks. And yeah, they basically played around again where Brian Kendricks is backstage begging TJ to throw the match for him. You know what I mean? Because without this match, Brian Kendricks has nothing. This is what he says and whatever. And he needs this win. You know what I mean? He keeps begging him. But TJ is basically, if you want it, just fight me for it. You know what I mean? You gotta want it. So they're going in the match, they're fighting and whatever, going back and forth and whatever. Really good match, whatever. There's one point where TJ has tape on his hand and whatever, the tape that wrestlers usually put on their hand. Brian Kendricks takes the tape off and wraps it around the ropes and basically just tries to snap his hand or whatever. I love Brian Kendrick's new style where he uses the ring and whatever surroundings is around him just to the best of his ability. It's basically like he's like a hardcore wrestler on the low. I love that, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, going on to the match, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. He basically at the end is about to hit his finisher, the slice spread number 2, and T.J. Perkins blocks it, but it hurts Brian Kendrick's leg, and like he's trying to tell the ref like, oh, my leg, like trying to stop the match. T.J. gets worried about him, checks up on him, and Brian Kendricks hits him with headbutt, and then hits his like submission move, the Captain Hook. TJ taps out. Your winner and new champion is the Brian Kendricks. Now the reason I bring up his fighting style and whatever is because in like the what they call it, Talking Raw, whatever, their like post show thing that they debuted today and whatever, Booker T basically confronted the Brian Kendricks and basically told him, you don't have it anymore, you know what I mean? Like, you have to resort to like these type of tactics and whatever. In my opinion, Brian Kendricks is the best he's ever been. Like, I love this new Brian Kendricks and whatever. Like, yeah, like I'm a big fan of his, whatever. Not that I'm not a fan of TJ. I love TJ, but yeah, like this was really good, whatever. But yeah, next we have for the tag team titles, we have Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, a New Day, going against Cesaro and Sheamus. And I was wrong about this match because I could have sworn it was going to be Kofi Kingston. Plus, this is his hometown. But no, they went with Big E and Xavier Woods. You know what I mean? So it's Big E and Xavier Woods versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Pretty good match and whatever. They basically went with the whole thing with Sheamus and Cesaro arguing here and there and whatever, like just like Team Hell No and whatever, you know what I mean, had that comical relief there thing. And the end came where Cesaro did the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring to Xavier Woods, where on the outside you have Sheamus takes the trombone, I think her name is Francesca too, and hits Big E with it. At the same time, you know what I mean, during the ring, Kofi Kingston gets mad and starts attacking Sheamus. The referee turns around and sees this, so you have your winners here. In disqualification, you have Sheamus and Cesaro. Even though they won, they did not win the tag team title, so be sure to see a rematch to this match. And yeah, there you have that, you know what I mean, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, they're celebrating. Cesaro and Sheamus, they're upset in the ring. They later on argue and talking Raw and whatever, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rematch to this. And last but not least, we have for the WWE Women's title, Raw Women's title, mind you, we have Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks. The champion Sasha Banks putting her title against Charlotte Flair. And yeah, like out of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, this was the best one. Not just because like it's the females and I'm a mark for the females. Not just because it was the main event and whatever. But this one was like the most brutal. As the cage is going down where Charlotte beats down Sasha. And the cage almost like crushed Sasha. Like it was crazy. She like puts her through an announcer table. Like she power bombs her off the cage. At one point, like she throws her in the cage and whatever. Like it was crazy. No blood or nothing like that, because you know we're basically PG and whatever. But the end came where she basically, Charlotte that is, tossed Sasha around like a rag doll on top of a table. It didn't break enough like that. She tossed her like twice. She fell on her knees and bam, hit natural selection. 1, 2, 3. And your new champion for the 3rd time is Charlotte Flair. And yeah, she has her little record right there. And I have to correct myself because like I said, she was undefeated on pay-per-views. It was 12-0. It actually was 13-0. Now it's 14-0. And yeah, like pretty good pay-per-view. I want to like call it like a 6 or a 7. Like it was good, but it wasn't mind-blowingly good. You know what I mean? Survivor Series is going to be way better because, you know, they have the Raw vs. SmackDown thing going. So, yeah, but all in all, it was a great, nice pay-per-view. In my opinion, good pay-per-view, rather. But yeah, comment down below and tell me what y'all thought about it. And yeah, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Share it with your friends and whatnot. And until next time, y'all. Peace.